Hi everyone and welcome back to the Hybrid Trends. After some sick leave, I now have time to again create some more videos, and while I'm still not doing the interviews with our PGs and partners, I thought I want to introduce you to one of my other junkyard projects, so systems where I think I can run virtualization for hybrid cloud on. And I'm still struggling to have portable demo systems. So while I was sick, I encountered a very interesting device called the Asus ROG Republic of Gamers Ally Extreme, so which is basically a gaming handheld, but it's running a Zen 4 AMD CPU, which is basically downsized Ryzen, has 64 gig of memory and the option to have 2 terabyte of storage and additional SD cards with I think also 2 terabytes something. So I got myself that device and thought, okay, it's just a CPU, it's just an AMD CPU. So can I run virtualization on that one? So that's the device. And throughout the video, I will show you that you can run virtualization on that, on top of that gaming handheld. And with 8 cores, 16 gig of memory, and 2 terabyte of storage, that works for domain controller, 2 small test HCI nodes, and a bit of piece of software. So, and I would tell you what you need to change on the system to run those virtualizations. It's pretty simple. You cannot change anything in the BIOS. So there is a BIOS on there. It's pretty limited, but it's you cannot enable virtualization technology. But luckily, with every modern CPU, it's enabled by default. So there are only one or two things you need to change here. Then you can run Hyper-V, or you can also bring Windows Server on the ROG Ally. But then you would get, or that's what I tried at least, that. But then you cannot use the internal graphics card because that one has no drivers for Windows Server 2012, 19, 16, whatever you want to run, or 20, 22, 25. So I've went with Windows 10, and yeah, let me switch and show how I did it, what I did, and also maybe show you some additional components afterwards I purchased to make my life a bit easier. Okay, everyone. Now we are basically on the ROG Ally, and let's take a look on what we have here first. So as you see, it's the ROG Ally. I will not go into the BIOS because you cannot change what we need in the BIOS, or let's say there is no option like enabling virtualization in the ROG BIOS, so I will not show it. It's enabled by default, which is good. So we do not need to care about that. But as you can see, it's a AMD Ryzen Extreme, 16 gig of memory. We have 8 cores, 16 threads. Currently, I use around 6 gigabyte of memory for things I'm running here. No virtual machines at the moment. It's a bit other things. We have a Radeon GPU which is integrated in the CPU, so it's not a dedicated one, but it's not. It has it on memory, so we are fine with that. And yeah, I have two disks in, so one NVMe with currently only 500 gigabyte, but you can add another one up to 2 terabyte, which is normal, or it's a small form factor, so you don't have large ones on the market right now. And I have an SD card with another 500, but it's my test system. When you want to run Hyper-V or Windows Server, or when you want to run Hyper-V on that one, especially if you don't want to mess around with the drivers for Windows Server, you want to run it out of the box as a demo system like I do it. I use Windows 11, but the Windows 11 which is delivered with the ROG Ally is Windows 11 Home Edition. So there's one thing you need to do. You need to upgrade it to Pro. That's pretty simple. You can just go for activation, settings, change your license key, change from the home key to a Pro key. It will download all required features, and then you're able to install Hyper-V as you know it from Windows itself. To be honest, I wouldn't show it here because there are not a lot of guides out there that show you how to install Hyper-V on Windows 11 or Windows 10. So it's through the software installation and advanced features. But as I said, you will then be able to run Hyper-V. And I will show you that. So I have the Hyper-V console already installed. As you can see, there is no virtual machine now. So we will create one virtual machine using the wizard, test VM, putting it on our storage, say the SD card, for example, folder, virtual machine, select folder and generation 2 VM so that we get the newest one, 4 gig of memory. So I will not change, I will leave it with the standards. You then connect it to the default switch. I will also show you the default switch in a minute. And test VM, that's fine. It changes because we only want to start the VM. We don't want to install an operating system. Finish. It now creates the virtual machine. You can see resources added. For the virtual switch settings, you have with the ROG Ally, you get the Wi-Fi card. So currently I have only the Wi-Fi card enabled as it is on my desk right now, as you can see here. So it's on the desk. It's not connected to power. It's just handheld mode. And I'm connected to it from my regular PC. Switch is on the Wi-Fi card. It works. But you can get a dock. I will link you the one I use in the description, and then you can get a gigabit or something interface card, which you can also use for virtual switch. But I used the Wi-Fi card here, or you can use an internal switch or whatever. So it's as you know from Hyper-V. Then let's start the VM. So normally, if it wouldn't work because the chip isn't supporting virtualization technology, it should stop. It shouldn't be able to start the virtual machine. So we start the virtual machine. There's no error message yet. So we now will connect to the virtual machine. There's no operating system, but as you can see, it works. It's rebooting, and we're running virtual machine out of the ROG Ally. Handheld, only Wi-Fi, nothing more. So with that, it's a perfect pocket device to have a small demo environment in your pocket. You can demo to customers. You can just connect it to with USB-C or with any dock or with wireless display to a display, and you can have your demo environment in your pocket, carrying it out with you without having a heavy laptop. That's basically it. So just to recap that, we only need to upgrade to Windows 11 Pro, and then we're fine. We can install Hyper-V and we can run it. That's all. So as you now know the small simple steps to get everything up and running. You saw I used RDP. You saw that I also had 2 different network cards. So I had the Wi-Fi network card and in addition network adapter. So normally the ROG Ally has no network adapter. It has just the Wi-Fi component. You can use that, so it's for portable use. It's amazing, but in my case, and as you saw in the demo, I used it more like a desktop PC. And to run it as a desktop PC, you need to have a docking station. And luckily, there are a few docking stations out there using USB-C, where you have several components. As you can see, I have a network port, I have 3 USB ports, USB 3.0 ports, I have an HDMI port, and I also have a USB-C port for power delivery for the ROG Ally and for the docking station. It's not very expensive, it's around 50 euro or something. And that one is then connected, so you put the ROG Ally in the stand, connect the USB-C connector, come on, and then you can connect your mouse, keyboard, monitor, external docking station, whatsoever, and your network cable, and then you have basically a small desktop PC and a small form factor. And virtualization station. The one I have is the Extreme with a faster CPU and a bit of better graphics card. There are 2 versions. I will link them below so that you can take a look. But it's, I said, for mobile virtualization, if you want to have something in your pocket and you need more than one, and you don't want to carry around so many notebooks, or like me, my big black box with my clusters in, that would be a good alternative to have and to run. And as you saw, it's pretty simple. Get yourself that dock, get yourself that device, upgrade to Windows 11 Pro, and then you can run virtualization, and then you can run virtual machines, and it has enough to run a few virtual machines on that one. So that's all from me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and yeah, Christmas is near. Maybe it's your Christmas gift to yourself, or from your boss, or from your wife, partner, children. So maybe one of your childs get one of those, and then you can repurpose it. Maybe if there's no longer screen time or something like that. So have a great one. Have a great Christmas. Bye.